Have you ever just stood there looking at the ocean and thought, how on earth do we turn that into something we can drink? I mean, it seems impossible, right? Like some kind of magic? Well, it's not magic. It's pure science. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this amazing technology called reverse osmosis. So it really all boils down to this one simple question. We've got this water that's full of salt, and we need to pull them apart. But how do you do that? How do you grab onto something that's totally dissolved? Well, to get the solution, we first have to understand the problem. And the problem, it turns out, is a really powerful law of nature. All right, section 1, nature's balancing act. See, before we can figure out how to reverse a process, we've got to understand how it works in the first place. In nature, it's always trying to find balance. This is especially true with water. And that brings us to the key word for today, osmosis. Think of it like this. You've got a super crowded room and a totally empty room with a door in between. What happens? People are going to naturally spread out into the empty room until it's more or less even, right? Water does the exact same thing. It moves from a place where there's not much salt to a place where there's a ton of salt, trying to dilute it and, even things out. And here's a perfect picture of that natural tendency. On the left, you've got water with low salt. On the right, you've got that super salty seawater. If you separate them with a special filter, a membrane, that less salty water will naturally flow towards the saltier side to try and water it down. That right there, that's osmosis in action. It's just nature doing its thing. So that's how nature wants to do it. But for what we need, that's the exact opposite of what we want. We're not trying to dilute the salt water, we're trying to get the pure fresh water out of it. So the question is, how do we fight back against this incredibly powerful natural flow? The answer, believe it or not, is basically brute force. The big idea here is so simple, but so powerful. If nature is pushing one way with a certain force, we call that osmotic pressure, well, we just have to push back, but harder, a lot harder. And here's what that actually looks like. Step 1, you start with salt water on one side of that special membrane. Then, step 2, you apply a ton of pressure. I mean, an immense amount of pressure. This literally shoves the tiny water molecules through the membrane's pores, while the bigger salt molecules and all the other gunk, they get blocked and left behind. It's kind of like a bouncer at a club who only lets the little guys through. And when I say intense pressure, I am not kidding. For seawater, you might need up to 800 pounds per square inch, or PSI. To put that into perspective for you, that is over 20 times the pressure in a normal car tire. That's just a staggering amount of force, all to push back against that natural tendency of water. Okay, so we get the concept, right? But what does the actual machine that does all this look like? Let's take a peek inside the hardware that makes this whole amazing thing happen. Okay, so if you look at a typical system, the water first goes through some pre-filters to get rid of any big stuff. Then you have the high-pressure pump. That's the real muscle of the whole operation, which creates that incredible force. It pushes the water into the membrane housing, and that's where the semi-permeable membrane does the real magic, separating the pure water from all the waste. And then finally, a post-treatment system just gets the water ready to drink. So, we have the science. We have the machine. But what's the big picture here? Why does mastering this process matter so much, especially for us right now? This quote really says it all. This isn't just some clever piece of engineering. With populations growing and our climate changing, fresh water is becoming one of the most precious things on the planet. And reverse osmosis, it gives us a direct way to tap into the single biggest water source we have, our oceans. And its use goes way beyond just making drinking water. Yeah, desalination is the biggest piece of the pie here, but the same tech is absolutely essential for treating wastewater, for making sure our food and drinks are pure, and for all sorts of specialized industrial and medical stuff. It is a real workhorse of the modern world. So here's the bottom line. This really elegant solution to a natural problem has huge, huge implications. By figuring out how to just reverse a simple flow, we've unlocked a technology that can literally sustain cities, keep our food chain safe, and drive all kinds of innovation. It's this quiet revolution that's happening all around us. So, we've seen how it all works, how we can turn the undrinkable into the essential. It's a total triumph of ingenuity. But it does leave us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? This technology gives us fresh water, sure, but what's the real cost? What does it take from our oceans and our energy grid? Because let's be honest, pushing back against nature that hard, it always comes with a price tag.